Good morning, boys and girls. How are you? Welcome back. How was everybody's week? What did you do? Did you have some Zoom calls and do your school? Or did you play in your backyard? Or did you have a nice long weekend? Maybe you traveled and went away for Labor Day. Well, I hope it was great, whatever you did. Snowy got a new skirt. She wanted to show you her new skirt. It's very pretty. And then Mud got a new pair of shoes. Very nice, huh? Yeah, they were excited. They had a nice weekend. Well, let's sing our good morning song. We'll start with me, and then Mud and Snowy and Monster, and then you. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Mud. Good morning, Snowy. We're happy to have you here. Good morning, Monster. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. We're happy to have you here. You ready for the word of the day? The word of the day is all right, let's say the letters. R, E, D. Now let's say the sounds. R, E, D. R, E, D. Red, red, red. And it's written in the color red. And it looks like my finger nail polish is also red. Wow, red is a nice color. Raise your hand if you like the color red. And let's think about some things that are the color red besides my nail polish. Let's think. Can you help me? Stop sign. That's right. A stop sign is the color red. That's right. Yes, and a stop light. A stop light can be red. When it's red, it means stop. It's the first color of a stoplight. Very good. What else can be red? Yep, a rose, a red rose. I like roses. How about one more? Oh, I heard apple. Yeah, red apple. Apples can be green or yellow, but definitely they can be red. Very nice. Well, we're going to read a story right now about a little girl whose name was Red. Does anyone know that story? Little Red Riding Hood. All right, you want to read it? Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mother in a house at the edge of the forest. The little girl always wore a red cloak and hood, and that's why she was called Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said to her, "Your grandmother is not feeling well. I have packed a basket and with fruit and cakes and honey. Will you take it to her?" "Yes, Mother," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Now be careful going through the forest," said her mother, "and don't dawdle along the way. Grandmother is waiting for you." "Yes, Mother," said Little Red Riding Hood, and she took the basket and she set out. Little Red Riding Hood had gone but a short way into the forest when a great gray wolf stepped out from behind a tree. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "Where are you going on this fine day?" "I am going to see Grandmother on the other side of the forest," said Little Red Riding Hood. "She is ill, and I am bringing her fruit and cake and honey." Why not bring her some wildflowers as well, said the wolf. There are so many to pick here from in the forest. Oh, I cannot stop, said Little Red Riding Hood. Mother said I must not dawdle along the way. Picking flowers is not dawdling, said the wolf. Besides, a bunch of pretty flowers will cheer your grandmother up and make her feel better. Perhaps you are right, said Little Red Riding Hood. So she put the basket down and began to pick wildflowers. Meanwhile, the wolf slipped away and sped to the other side of the forest. When he came to Grandmother's cottage, he crept up to the door and knocked. Who is it? Called Grandmother. It is I, Little Red Riding Hood, answered the wolf in a high voice. I have brought you fruit and cake and honey. Oh, come in, dear, said Grandmother. The door is open. As soon as the wolf was inside, he bounded over to the bed and gobbled up Grandmother whole, leaving only her shawl and nightcap. Oh, no. He put on the nightcap and wrapped himself in the shawl. Then he crawled into bed and waited for Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, boy. There he is, waiting, dressed up like Grandma. Before long, there was a knock at the door. Who is it? Called the wolf in a high little voice. It is I, Little Red Riding Hood, came the reply. I have brought you fruit and cake and honey, and a bunch of pretty wildflowers to cheer you up. Come in, said the wolf. The door is open. Little Red Riding Hood went in and stood for a moment in the doorway. Oh, Grandmother, she said, looking at the bed. What big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my dear, said the wolf. Come closer. Oh, Grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood, stepping into the room. What big eyes you have. The better to see you with, my dear, said the wolf. Come closer. Little Red Riding Hood came closer. Oh, Grandmother, she said, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you with, said the wolf, and he swallowed Little Red Riding Hood up. Oh! Then, feeling full and satisfied, the wolf lay down and fell asleep. What a mean, wicked wolf, huh? But don't worry. Now it happened that a woodcutter was passing by Grandmother's cottage just then. He knew the old woman hadn't been feeling well, so he decided to check in on her. When he saw the wolf snoring on the bed, he knew what had happened. Oh, I have you at last, he said to the wolf, and he pulled Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother right out, and the wolf was so afraid he ran away. Oh, Grandmother, said Little Red Riding Hood, how happy I am to see you. And I am happy to see you, child, said Grandmother, giving Little Red Riding Hood a hug. Phew. Then Little Red Riding Hood, Grandmother, and the woodcutter sat down to feast on the fruit and cake and honey. They all lived happily ever after from that day on, and the wolf never came back again. The end. Wow. What'd you think of that story? Scary a little bit, right? But it had a happy ending. Yeah, the woodcutter was a nice man that helped them out. I think Little Red Riding Hood probably should have listened to her mother and not dawdled along the way and not talked to strangers, huh? Yeah. Well, that's a famous story. That was pretty good. Well, let's sing a song now. Now, I think that we should sing a song about colors, since our word of the day is a color, right? Red. So let's sing the color song. You guys know it? Some of you do, I think. So it involves looking at what you're wearing today and standing up if you have that color on that I say. All right? So everybody should be sitting down, and when I call out the color, if you're wearing it, you're going to stand up. Okay, ready? Let's all look and see who's wearing red. If you're wearing red, would you please stand up? Put your finger on it. Show me that you've got it. Put your finger on the color red. Now sit down. Good job. Now we're going to pick another color. Let's all look and see who's wearing black. If you're wearing black, would you please stand up? Put your finger on it. Show me that you've got it. Put your finger on the color black. Now sit down. Good job. Let's all look and see who's wearing purple. If you're wearing purple, would you please stand up? Put your finger on it. Show me that you've got it. Put your finger on the color purple. Now sit down. Let's do one more. Let's all look and see who's wearing yellow. If you're wearing yellow, would you please stand up? Put your finger on it. Show me that you've got it. Put your finger on the color yellow. Now sit down. Very good. That was a fun song. If I didn't call your color, why don't you stand up right now? And we'll all give you a round of applause. Yay! Well, that's it for today. I hope you had fun. I hope that you have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Say goodbye, Mud. Say goodbye, Snowy. Say goodbye, Monster.